Hi, today we're going to be talking about information processing theory and multiple intelligences. Information processing theory is a fabulous theory, and basically it's about how people or students process information. And that breaks it down into three different categories. You have sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. And each one of these memories processes your information. So the information processing theory basically is a concept that helps learners process information from their environment and emphasizes continual process of development or thinking. Now, in the sensory memory, that's going to last anywhere from about half a second to 3 seconds. And it's going to be very quick, and it's just going to be like boom, boom, boom. You can only handle about 3 to 7 different inputs at a time. If I gave you a list, a shopping list, maybe I said we need milk, eggs, bread, sandwich meat, mustard, ketchup, and mayonnaise, and I would say, please, can you repeat that to me? You might get about 3 of them, maybe 4 of them if you're really fast. But that's sensory information. And then you have your short-term memory. And that memory lasts a little bit longer. It lasts from about 5 to 15 seconds. And it's chunks of information that are going to be processed at a time. And as teachers, we need to really focus on that short-term memory because you can only handle about 7 to 9 chunks of information at a time. Then we have the last, which is long-term memory, and that's permanent memory. That's indefinite capacity, meaning we don't know exactly how much you can handle, but we know you can handle a lot. And as teachers, we also need to remember to prioritize information, keep the students' attention. We need to make connections between new material and their prior knowledge, providing repetition and reviewing of the information over and over. And we need to present the information clearly and focus on meaning of the material. We do not want to overload a student, for sure. Now, that is information processing theory. Next, we're going to be talking about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. And multiple intelligence theory has anywhere from 8 to 9 different theories. And why I say 8 to 9 is because originally he came up with 8, and then he incorporated the 9th one, which is naturalistic or focusing on nature. Each of these theories, multiple intelligence theory, basically means that you have more than one learning pattern or way of learning. And everybody has a different learning path. Not everybody can sit down and take a multiple choice test and understand it. So we need to now, as teachers, look at what is the learning profile of our students. Can we make our teaching to their learning style so that they will incorporate more information and be able to retain it? And so multiple intelligence theory also builds off of the information processing theory because it's all about how a person processes their information. Each one has different gifts and abilities as a student, and we want to bring out those gifts and abilities and target our learning. And because each learner is differently, they don't need to be assessed the same way. So that multiple choice test isn't going to work for a lot of students. And we have seen that in the results that we've been getting over the past decades. Students are less engaged. We need to keep them more engaged and more excited about learning and addressing their learning profiles so that they can retain more information and glean more from our lessons. Basically, you have mathematical logical, you have musical, visual spatial, bodily or kinesthetic, you have interpersonal. The new one is the naturalist, you have existential, and you have verbal linguistic. Now, each of these learning profiles focuses on how a student learns best. And it's really, really important at the beginning of a year to start off with the learning profile assessment. I typically ask my students, what way do you learn best? Some of them will say, I love videos. Some will say, I love music. Some will say, I got to move my body. And we need to take all of that into account. And so then there are different strategies that we need to apply for these different multiple intelligences. And you see this here in this chart. We have image smart, body smart, logic smart, nature smart, sound smart, word smart, people smart, and self smart. And now these are different strategies that you can use in the classroom to address some of these learning profiles. It is of utmost importance that we take into account each individual learner. This is no longer a one-size-fits-all teaching. We have to address each student's learning profile. And it can go from at any age level. It doesn't matter if they're babies, if they're in elementary school, high school, or if they are adult learners. Every student has a way that they learn best. So I really hope that you enjoyed learning about information processing theory and multiple intelligences. I pray that you put it into practice.